Dude, you're not getting a Dell paycheck. That is, we're going to talk about this. So this is kind of a follow-up to the video we did yesterday talking about the global economic crisis. And it was a very, very bad day on Wall Street yesterday. And there's a lot of panic. But I think, companies are going to take advantage of this as a reason to get rid of employees that they really didn't want. They just didn't know how else to get rid of them. This happens all the time. I mean, we saw like with the Silicon Valley Bank situation last year, once they became insolvent, all these tech companies that were probably fine, or, they just hit a bump in the road. All of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we got to lay everybody off. We got to lay all these people off. And they just all happen to be activists, but we got to lay all these people off now because we don't have any money. Oh, look, Silicon Valley Bank, even though we didn't bank with them, they went bust, and the whole just macroeconomic headwinds. See ya, out the damn door you go. Dell is laying off almost 13,000 people. This is insane. You know what else is insane is I forgot Dell still existed. And actually, one of our computers here, I think, is a Dell, but I bought it like 4 years ago. I don't think I would buy a Dell now. But anyway, we're going to talk about this because I guess they're replacing these employees with AI, or they're focusing on AI. And we're going to see a lot of this, especially in tech. It's cheaper. We did another video today talking about manga and anime translations going to AI. There are certain jobs that can be automated with AI. And when you make a good case for your company to get rid of you, if you're a pain in the ass, if you don't work, if you're basically not bringing enough value to warrant what you're being paid, you get gone. And in some cases, whoever's at the top, if they're not in the trenches, they want to chase after whatever is shiny, whatever they think is the new thing or is going to be the new thing. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Speaking of subscriptions, so you don't miss an episode, go out to Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts, and make sure you subscribe to the audio version of Clownfish TV. This is kind of our life raft, I think, if YouTube goes poof, that we're going to still bring you the audio version of Clownfish TV, and also the Derezzed podcast. That is out there as well. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. But if you want to kick a few bucks into our Patreon, I'm not gonna complain about it. So this is coming from Bloomberg. Dell cuts workers and sales team reorganization with new AI-focused unit. We're getting leaner. Executives writing a memo to employees. New team will put more emphasis on AI sales in Dell servers. 12,500 people, I think, are getting gone, according to this layoff tracker on Twitter. Dell Technologies is cutting jobs as part of a reorganization of its sales teams, impacting 12,500 employees approximately, as the company aims to become leaner. That is a hell of a cut. They said they're cutting jobs as part of reorganization. That includes a new group focused on AI products and services. We're getting leaner. Sales executives Bill Scannell and John Byrne, the comic book guy? No. Wrote on Monday in a memo to Dell employees, we're streamlining layers of management and reprioritizing where we invest. Again, these companies are going to use macroeconomic headwinds as a reason to toss people overboard, even if it's just a bump in the road. And, yesterday it was really bad for Wall Street. And I do not think we're out of the woods. There was a bit of a rebound today. But Japanese stocks were soaring. Everybody was kind of freaking out over the weekend. But there was a lot of money lost. And I think what is going to happen is, again, these companies are just going to be like, we're in uncertain financial times, so we're going to freak out and lay you off because we wanted to get rid of you anyway for whatever reason. We wanted to, put that money someplace else, and now we have an excuse, and we can just point to the economy. We're like, hey, ain't us, man. It's the economy. And in some cases, it legitimately is the economy. But I think with a lot of these video game publishers, they're just like, we cannot keep dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into AAA titles that nobody's playing. And they're costing us hundreds of millions of dollars. So, look, the economy, there's a bump in the road. See ya, everybody. Yeah, it said, in addition to the AI-focused team, the executive said the company is going to change how data center sales are approached. The Texas-based hardware technology company has enjoyed a renaissance of investor interest over the past year due to its high-powered servers that can run AI workloads. So let's get rid of people Who needs people? Still, there's an increasing unease about how long it may take companies to see a payoff from AI investments, which come in the form of expensive servers or graphics processing units. They're all chasing the AI, and a lot of them are going to blow themselves up doing it. In fact, we've done a couple of videos about this. So many of these big companies are chasing AI, and it just might not work out for them. A spokesperson declined to comment on how many jobs would be affected through a reorganization of our go-to market teams and ongoing series of actions. We're becoming a leaner company. Well, the layoff tracker says 12,000. Let's see here. Yeah, this person says big bucks, no whammies. Dell has $3.5 billion in net profits in 2024, 83% year-over-year growth. So why wouldn't they want to cut 12,500 employees to become leaner? This person says Kamala's recession. Holy shit. Layoffs are brat. Stock market is not a reflection of the economy, they say. Well, yeah. Glenn King says, I'll never regret leaving corporate America to become a pornographer. Never had a day job in the last 22 years. I wish I had my job back in tech. That's probably not untrue. It's probably more secure. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's not looking too good. They're saying 12,500. I'm not 100% sure how many people are getting laid off. But yeah, I mean, they've got pretty good profits, but they're still laying off. Why are they doing it? They're going to chase AI. What? They're going to use the stock market as a reason to do it. They said, yeah, they're not going to comment on how many jobs. Through a reorganization of our go-to market teams, and yeah, we're going to become a leaner company. The shares increased 34% this year through Friday's close. Stock had been given back more than 40% of its value since hitting a record $179 on May 29th. Dell previously announced a major workforce reduction in early 2023, shedding 13,000 jobs that year. As of February, it had about 120,000 full-time employees globally. This is crazy. So they're shedding another 12,500 jobs, according to Layoff Tracker. What layoff? What layoff? Yeah, that's not good, guys. That's not a good sign. Wow. The company's best-known business of selling personal computers had struggled in recent years amid a post-pandemic decline in that market. The computer industry shipments have begun to pick up, and Dell is optimistic that a new generation of AI-optimized PCs will fuel upgrades. I am not upgrading any of my computers to Windows 11 if I can avoid it because of recall. I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous to have a computer take snapshots of every damn thing you're doing and send it to the cloud. And most people are not going to know how to turn that off. Speaking of podcasts, I do have a whole episode where I talk about Windows 11 recall and how I'm not into it, man. I'm just not into it. We aim to grow faster than the market by seamlessly meeting our customers and partners online, virtually, or in person to unlock the value of modern IT and AI for their organizations, they said in the memo. I don't think the people who got fired, I don't think they give a shit why you fired them. Yeah, this is coming from tweettown.com. Dell crushes its HR department with 12,500 layoffs in a single day. Yeah. 10% of its workforce they're cutting. They said the layoffs at Dell come after a matter of days after Intel announced it was laying off 15% of its workforce, amounting to 15,000 job cuts and a 26% stock drop. The massive stock drop is attributed to recently confirmed hardware issues with Raptor Lake chips, which is causing a fire internally for the CPU manufacturer. Our chips catch on fire. Wow, our stock's going down. Can't imagine why. As for Dell, the company planned on reducing its workforce by 5%, but ended up reducing it to double that, or 13,000 people. So that was last year, right? So if I'm understanding this correctly, last year they laid off 13,000 people. This year they're laying off 12,500 people. And they're talking about how the stock market took a massive hit with key trading platforms such as Vanguard, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, and others going down in response to the overall drop. The U.S. woke up to over $2 trillion wiped away from the stock market. Wow. Yeah, it was a recession scare. Now, they're saying things are fine now. Are things actually fine? Are they normalizing? Or are they just saying that to get you to stop selling off all your stock? Because people were panicking and they were selling off all their stock. I think that they're going to try to put a Band-Aid on it to stop the bleeding and try to, especially with the election coming up, we want to make sure everything's fine, guys. It's all fine here. Everything is fantastic. But I don't think it is. $2 trillion, $2 trillion wiped away. Wow. Yeah, the following trading platforms are down: Schwab, Ameritrade, Vanguard, E-Trade, Fidelity. This happened with GameStop too. I know that they stopped trading GameStop on a lot of these platforms. So it's like your money's not really your money, is it? Oh, it's getting too hot, guys. People are selling too many stocks. We got to make sure that we can't have a bank run. Let's lock the damn door. You can't take your money out. This happened with BuzzFeed too. I remember BuzzFeed, they went public. A bunch of employees wanted to sell their stock and they wouldn't let them do it. They were making them hold it for like a week or something. Because if everybody sells their stock, tanks, and it did eventually. I want to say their IPO was like $10 and it's down to like pennies on the dollar now. But yeah, so that we're talking about major players going down as the stock market is falling, including Vanguard, Fidelity, TD, Ameritrade. I didn't know anything about this, and they all went down. Because I actually unloaded a bunch of my stock during the pandemic. I sold my Disney pretty high, but yeah, I didn't. I just have ETFs now. I don't even know if I have individual stock. I think I just have ETFs, and I didn't dump them. I think my wife dumped some of hers, but I didn't dump them. Wall Street and the crypto market have seen a sea of red today, both bleeding trillions of dollars. So it wasn't just the U.S. experiencing financial turmoil, but Japan and Taiwan. Yeah, now, as if by magic, Japan is soaring once again. I think we're looking at a day of reckoning here pretty damn soon. But I think we're gonna hold off until after the election, because if the stock market completely shits the bed and everybody's broke, guess what? Guess who they're not going to vote for, because that person is in office is the VP right now. I'm just saying. I think there's definitely something going on here. But it does drive home the fact that, like, God, just how fragile our economy is, right? I mean, I never really thought about it until the pandemic, but like, it doesn't take much to disrupt everything. And I really sit here and wonder, I'm like, do we not have any actual adults in charge of anything? Like, I just feel like our society, our entire global society, is just a bunch of kids playing make-believe, pretending to be adults. Kind of like, those commercials or whatever, the movies where the cereal commercials where the kids were in the adult like business suits or whatever. That's what the whole planet feels like. It feels like there are no actual adults in charge of anything. And we're all just playing make-believe. And really there's no difference between the money that we think we have and like the pile of rocks that are like pretend money on the playground, right? Like my kids used to take pine cones and they had like a bank by a tree and they had these little pine cones and they had a whole pine cone economy, I guess, at my son's school. So I heard about the pine cone economy and then I heard about the crouton economy. Apparently croutons were very valuable at his elementary school. And I'm not kidding. Like, you get a little pack of croutons for your salad. Kids like these croutons, but they'd like trade croutons for anything. It was like cigarettes, right? You could trade a crouton for anything. And so kids were trading these crouton packets and they were trading pine cones, and really our money, that's the same thing. Isn't it? Isn't that sad? It's all the same thing. It's freaking croutons. So yeah, people lost a lot of croutons yesterday, and now some people who work at Dell aren't going to be able to afford croutons. I don't know. Croutons are pretty cheap. The Aldi's ones are pretty cheap. There we go, guys. Things are great. Things are fantastic. The world is fine. We're not on fire. It's all good. Everything is good here every damn day. It's all fantastic. I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. And good luck to those of you who have been displaced by modern society.